Hello, everyone. We have all been here visiting about crazy spring, early summer weather and the flowers that are in bloom. If you see on the screen, if you see Shayna, there's a beautiful rhododendron behind her. And this image is just about an hour old. So it's real-time bloom, which we'll be exploring tonight too, because people have shared the blooms that are current in their gardens and in their landscapes right now. So it's got that perfect of the moment energy of the flowers that stay with us now, and then that impermanence, that fleetingness will hold us in the field as well. So I feel very fortunate to spend this time together in May right now in time and space with flowers. Uh, and with that, I will share the PowerPoint that has these lovely images. There we go. All right. So this is actually one of Robin and Craig's blooms from right now as well. And we can connect with this lovely set of flowers as we sink deeper into the collective consciousness field with Dr. Peng's 8 verses. So find your Qigong, your meditation posture, taking a few moments to settle in and sink into the space beneath as the head expands into the sky. The spine lengthens, and the feet go into the earth. The body is relaxed, and mind expands out. Be respectful and quiet inside. The mind is clear. The appearance is humble. The mind is still and expands out to the vast void. Illuminate deep inside. The whole body is harmonized with qi. Harmonized with qi. We saw this lovely creation that Robin made last week, and it reminds us of our first week together this month with flowers, where we connected the different flowers and their colors to our chakras or energy centers, and we intentionally worked on cultivating our inner gardens. And we can gaze here at the energy centers and these beautiful corresponding blooms and invite the harmony and the wisdom of these flower fields just to help our own gardens feel nourished. We can hold this connection throughout our time together this evening and going forward, just inviting our energy centers to harmonize with the wisdom of these flowers. And this is Karen's flower painting that we enjoyed last week. And it's when we worked with grief and joy. And that helped us connect to the impermanence that flowers bring. Megan mentioned cherry blossoms last week and how quickly they bloom and pass. And we were able to connect to some deep sadness and the corresponding joy that flowers bring to us in times of celebration and loss. And in Karen's art, we see a container that can hold this fleeting experience that flowers remind us of in life. And it stabilizes it and allows us to gaze upon and return to this impermanence, this grief and joy of life. And during Seeds last month, Robin and Craig brought us shoots of hope. So the little baby wildflowers that sprung out of a forest fire from last year. So the little shoots rose from the burnt earth. And now, a month later, we see, rather than shoots of hope, we see them mature into flowers of hope. And we'll spend the next few slides just receiving the wisdom and beauty of these flowers of hope. We move from these wild flowers of hope into the current garden blooms in Robin and Craig's garden. So these are real time, just like the rhododendron, and we can receive the presence of these flowers as they participate in time and space with us right now and beyond later. As we experience these vivid colors, we can feel them nourishing our energy centers, imparting that harmonious resonance. And now we move to blooms that Suan has shared. So these are current in her land and her garden. This is a pink lady slipper. And during our month on seeds, we spent quite a bit of time connecting with the lady slipper, especially the 7-year potential germination of the wild lady slipper's seed. And here we see mature, beautiful lady slipper in the forest floor. These are Irene's baby peonies. They haven't bloomed yet, but they are preparing. These flowers are Steph's irises and peonies, and they are from her grandmother's yard. And I find this so beautiful that our loved ones live on in our gardens. We explored that last week as well with Grace's passing and the flowers that continue in her honor. And we see that here as well. Mm. These are in bloom in our garden right now, and they're right outside my mom's door. This is one of her favorite flowers. And I realize as we've been spending time with flowers this month, one of the rituals I have with my mom this time of year is we go and we gaze at all of the blooms and we check all of the flowers and we see who's blooming. And probably many of us can relate to this time of year. We go and we just gaze and we connect with the buds, the little plants before they've even budded, and then the flowers. And we just enjoy that quiet companionship together with the flowers and then sometimes also with others, as my mom and I do each evening. And this is the last flower. This is also from our garden. Mm. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your beautiful flower submissions. It's just beautiful to receive them and get to gather them in such beauty. And I don't thank you. Yeah. Mm.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, everyone. Hala. I have a flower share. So Rena and I went hiking in a local open space, and there was a lot of St. John's wort blooming. And usually St. John's wort doesn't come for another month because, there's I think St. John has a day in June. I think it's around the solstice. Anyhow, usually one doesn't harvest this until the solstice. But there was so much blooming, and so anyhow, we harvested some, and so I don't know if you guys know what St. John's wort is. I'll put a picture of the flower in the chat, but if you squish the flowers, this red dye comes out, and so what I've done is I've put the flowers in this oil, and I just did this a few days ago, so it's not red yet, but maybe by next week it will be more red. I just wanted to show it to you now. So it'll infuse this red, really dark red color into the oil. And this is used for like a liniment for the skin. So it's really, really awesome for like sore muscles and whatnot. Um, and you can also do the same thing, but with alcohol, and it also turns it red. And that apparently is a really powerful or gentle but powerful sleep aid and nervine, which I didn't know. I knew about it for the liniment, um, and apparently it helps with your melatonin production. So if you're having trouble sleeping, it'll help your body's natural melatonin production. Um, but I love this flower because, again, I'll show you a picture. It's bright yellow, and they're associated with the sun, and usually you harvest it on the solstice. So, and traditionally, you would also put your oil or tincture in the sun to sit, at least in heat, because it really needs a lot of heat to get the red medicine out of the flowers. And it's medicine that we use typically, right, in the winter, right? Like if we're kind of a little bit sad or having anxiety, can't sleep, or if we have sore muscles, right? It's cold outside. It's like this way of bringing a little bit of sunshine into our bodies, to our glandular system, or into our skin. So anyway, there's my flower medicine, second flower medicine share today. Swan, you might have missed it. We've had 2 tooth extractions in the last few weeks in our group. I mean, not me, but and I remembered a flower I grew once. It's in the chat. I don't know if you can see it, but I think it's called toothache plant or something. Another yellow flower that if you chew on it, it kind of numbs your mouth. It's kind of gross, but anyway, all right. That's my share. Thank you. Oh, and actually, I have one more share. Thank you, Elizabeth. And that is that the seeds I planted right before we did our month of seeds just bloomed. Like one of the flowers just bloomed. I'll send a picture for next week. But yeah, some cosmos. So look at that. It's working. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Hella. Oh, that's awesome. I'm so excited to see those blooms. Mhm. Hmm. And the plant medicine, all of the plants have medicine. It's like every single plant is like, yeah, thank you. And if anything else wants to be shared, any flower stories or flower medicine, anything flower.
I just wanted to comment on the flowers from the scorched earth.
Mm.
That is pretty amazing. We've driven through a lot of land that's had forest fires and grass fires, and you're always drawn to the green that's coming up, and that's was really amazing looking at those flowers coming up. I'd never had the experience of doing that,
Mm.
so thank you for that.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it as vividly. And, if it gets too hot, like down below the trail, there's an area that, had some trees
Yeah.
that died that got really hot and it's still a moonscape. But it was a big hillside that had a good
Wow.
burn in it and it releases nitrogen too. So the
Yeah.
flowers are super happy. The lily, the Mariposa lily, none of us had ever seen that many. It's usually like, oh, there's a couple here or a couple there.
Right.
There were thousands of them. It
Gee.
was so impressive. And just that black soil and the flowers.
Yeah.
It was gorgeous. Really, really beautiful.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, you bet. I love to share flowers. I always say, careful what you ask for, Elizabeth and Megan.
But we love it too, so.
Just the other day, I said to Craig, I said, I really do love flowers, don't I? And he laughed. Because I've been going out to the yard and just like thanking every flower that's in bloom. And just a couple times a day, I just walk around the yard and just smile. It's so cool.
Mhm. Oh, howla,
Mm.
howla.
Ah.
Thank you for reminding us of the burnt earth, because that stark contrast and the nourishment that comes from the fire, yeah, it's so powerful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Robin. Great. Mm.
Say, what zone are you guys in? That's in the Pacific Northwest, right? What zone is?
Yeah. Well, and we're east of the Cascades, so we're much colder, like the Seattle. The west side is, and I think we're a 4 or something like that. I always forget.
Oh, okay.
It can get pretty cold, not as cold as it used to, but it can get pretty cold. But
Yeah.
like minus 10, 15.
Yeah.
Used to go 20, 25, but
We haven't seen that in a long
Seen
time.
that
I
in a
don't think
while.
we had anything even in single digits the last year or two, but
no.
it can if it chooses.
Oh, and we have the St. John's wort in the chat as well. Oh,
Yeah.
That's right.
Where I worked, they had a huge bed outside that was just solid St. John's wort.
mhm. Mm. Thank you, Megan. Karen?
Well, this isn't related to flowers, but I guess it's related to my tooth. My old reference framework was just so active because I had a tooth extracted when I was 9 years old. It was not a pleasant experience. I wasn't prepared. Nothing was explained to me or anything like that. So this vision of that experience just kept bugging me this whole time. And then I realized what was happening and I knew what it was about, but I couldn't really shake it. And I was just attached to an old experience that just doesn't apply anymore. So it was pretty interesting.
It's really powerful. It's almost like an update with this extraction going so smoothly, like allowing that. I don't know if you've experienced that old memory losing some of its hold or grip with the new experience.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Just shows you. I mean, it's just all about expectations and you know what you what you can let happen or not happen or being attached and then comes the worry and the fear and everything and it was all really I didn't have to go through all that or maybe I did because it was a good learning experience but yeah stuff
Mm,
stays with us.
it really does. Yeah. Especially those traumatic times, especially when we're so little.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
But just trusting the universe, trusting the process, trusting everything, just can make a huge difference.
Mhm. Yeah. I love it. Mm.
Yeah, surrendering too.
Yeah,
I find with pain, if I'm surrendering, it usually just goes away.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I thought I mean my jaw it hurts some, but not that much, and I think it's just a relief. It's all done, and yeah, just surrendering is not always easy, but it's the thing to do.
No problem, right?
Right, no problem.
No problem. It's a piece of a cake, right? Teacher Way's words. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah. It's beautiful. Thanks for sharing.
Mhm. 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 Does anything else want to get shared or anyone want to be brought into this powerful flower field?
I'll put Ani and her family for the uh, yeah, some structural changes that they're employing for more peace and safety and healing.
For our friend Sally. And today was the first time we've seen her without her head covering and her beautiful white hair. Her hair starting to grow back. And it was wonderful to see.
There's more of that greening of the desert, right? Yeah, it's
Whiting.
beautiful. Well, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The flowers are blooming again.
Yeah.
Hello.
I'd like to put my friend who's 92, Ron, in the field. He went for an echocardiogram today to start the process of determining whether he's a good candidate for ablation to restore his sinus rhythm. The drugs aren't working very well, and so they're trying to assess. He's actually in very good health, so we're all very hopeful for him that he'll return to his normal vitality if this is all approved and happens. And his wife Barb, just to put her in because she's very anxious about it, and I understand. At 92, it's a big deal, and they usually don't do it for anyone over 85. So, but the technology has come so far, and I understand there's only like a 1% chance of complications. So, anyhow, keeps them in the field for all the best.
Yeah, Cannon.
Oh, I'd like to put Gary in the field. He had a slight medical incident, and we're hoping he's had some tests done, and we're hoping that it's nothing. So I just want to put him there for.
Have Gary in the field extra because he's always in the field. So we'll just have extra love and extra flower petals, the rhododendron. Thank you,
But
Karen.
even not.
What was it?
I, my aunt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I know I was in the field because I had on Friday, I was going to have to wait for this scan, and I called, and they'd had a cancellation at 10 o'clock in the morning. So I rushed down there, and I didn't really have much time to think about it. I went into Mingjue State almost immediately, and so when that was done, I shared my experience with the tech, and she said she wished all of her patients could do that. And now it's just like waiting for the results. And but I'm pretty positive about it. So
Oh, thank you. That's beautiful, especially when the tech recognizes the power of the Mingjue estate. Yeah.
well, I was real motor mouth. I was talking to her about Qigong and everything.
That's cool.
Thank you. And we're holding the results in the field and the waiting period, and yeah. How right. Well, unless anything else wants to be shared out loud, we can move into our healing field meditation and trust that anything that wasn't shared out loud receives all the love just the same. Yeah. All right. Well, find your comfortable posture, seated, standing, or laying down. And just take the time to make it comfortable and supportive, making sure you're feeling the gravity and the holding of the surface beneath you. Taking a few deep breaths to just sink into that feeling of being held. And feeling the lower body, the weight of the hips, the legs, and the bottoms of the feet opening and inviting our energetic roots to flow out through the bottoms of the feet and through our homes and into the earth, going through the damp soil and reaching through the layers of the earth, connecting with the nourishment of our Mother Earth, and feeling our energy merge with her energy as the earth energy flows up through our roots and through the bottoms of the feet and through the low body into the root chakra and up our central channel, nourishing our energy centers. And feeling the chin tuck as the spine lengthens and the crown of the head reaches toward the heaven. As we bring this nourishing earth energy up, and the crown opens, and the heavenly energy flows in, merging with the earth energy, merging with our central channel, merging with our wholeness. And breathing with this place of connection between heaven and earth. Inviting any tension to soften. Inviting any challenges of the day or the week to also soften. Relaxing into this collective consciousness field, this healing field that we all share. This field of flowers that we've been cultivating together. Softening and breathing into these shared spaces. We can invite this peacefulness that we're connecting to, this shared nourishment, this awareness to flow into the center of the head, allowing the focus to concentrate there, observing, noticing any thoughts or any sensations in the center of the head. and inviting them to relax. And we can bring the sound to the center of the head. Allowing that sound to deepen our relaxation, deepen our presence and awareness. This awareness can expand from the center of the head to include the entirety of the head inner space, reaching to the eyes, the nose, the mouth and the jaw, allowing the vibration to ease any tension. The awareness flows to the ears. We observe the entire head inner space, soft and opening, like the gentlest flower, delicate petals expanding and growing subtler as the bloom opens. And as we gaze upon this bloom, we see it begin to gently dissolve as the head inner space opens. And the head inner space and the universe merge. Shoo. And we invite our awareness to flow into the throat and neck, bringing that presence to observe the neck. Mm. Mm. We feel that gentle hum, that vibration, nourishing the neck inner space, connecting with the energy center there. Mm. Mm. Inviting that awareness to fill all the spaces of the neck and throat. Mm. Again, inviting any tension to soften and dissolve. Mm. Mm. You feel that softness of the neck, that subtle energy expanding, opening, and blooming. And in this bloom, the boundaries dissolve. And we feel the neck merging with the universe. Shoo. Our awareness moves into the chest, the heart center. And we observe the energy collected and gathered at the heart center. Mm. Mm. And we feel the power of our hearts. This connection of our baby hearts together. Mm. Mm. We invite our awareness to radiate from the center of the chest inner space, filling the lungs, receiving the nourishment from the air we breathe, and smiling with this beautiful air in the tissues of the chest. Mm. 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 The inner space of the heart, all the tissues of the chest soften, open, bloom. And this gentle blooming grows subtler and subtler, dissolving and merging with the universe. And our awareness flows into the solar plexus, the Huanyuan Palace. And we feel the energy concentrated there. And we gaze upon it. Mm. Mm. And we feel this energy harmonizing under this loving gaze as the observer observes. Mm. Mm. And the organs around the solar plexus also harmonize. Mm. Mm. And this awareness opens, holding all of the spaces in the cells. And it softens and blooms with the most delicate of petals. And these petals begin to dissolve, releasing nourishment and receiving and merging with the universe. Shoo. The awareness flows to the lower dantian, the lower abdomen, feeling the potency of the Mingmen inner palace, and observing and being present with this powerful energy center. Mm. Mm. We feel the belly, all the organs of the low abdomen held in our loving gaze, harmonizing and softening. Mm. Mm. And in this softening, we imagine the beautiful blooming of the flower held in the low belly, soft and strong at the same time, filled with vital life force, opening. And in this opening, the flower dissolves, merges, dances with the universe. Shoo. Our awareness flows into the pelvis, the hips, feeling the energy gathered there, observing. Mm, mm. We feel that vibration, that hum, harmonizing the energy. Mm. We feel the deep love. Mm. Mm. We feel the root, the energy center around the Huiyin opening and softening as the flower dissolves, merging with the universe. Shoo. And we invite this awareness to flow from the root of the pelvis up through the central column, connecting with the spine and the energy centers held therein. Feeling the energy centers connected and working in harmony together as we gaze at the spine. Mm. Mm. We feel this harmony of the energy centers, the central column, harmonizing with the nervous system. Mm. Radiating peace and presence. Mm. Mm. Through this central column, our connected energy centers, and this harmonized central nervous system, we feel our entirety, our wholeness, our presence here in this collective consciousness field, the vastness of this healing space. We can imagine ourselves as a beautiful bloom, connected in this field of beautiful blooms, receiving the nourishment of the earth, the air, the sun, the stars, and the moon. And as a beautiful bloom, in harmony with all the beautiful blooms, we soften, we sway in the breeze. And we feel ourselves release, merging into the environment around us, into the universe. Shoo. And rest here in silence for a short while. Mm. Mm. Check in and see if you'd like to stay in this field, leaving the meditation whenever you're ready. Otherwise, invite the awareness to return to the senses, feeling the air on the skin, the sounds in the room. And with this awareness, we can express our deep gratitude for our time together, these beautiful fields, our teachers, all the healers, practitioners, all the wisdom traditions. We can breathe this gratitude, breathe this connection, allowing it to integrate into our senses, into our cells, permeating our bodies. As we continue with our evening and our week ahead, observing whatever arises, what unfolds. And stacking the hands, palm over palm, above the navel. Taking a few low belly breaths. Releasing the hands, wiggling the toes, moving the body. And checking in. Allah. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Allah.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here. Yeah.
Everyone and Elizabeth. Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye, y'all.
We'll be back next week for flowers, our last night, our last official night with flowers. Thank you, everyone.
Bye, y'all.